Hello, everyone, and welcome to Abnormal Investigations. I was having just a little bit of trouble with the program here, but I think we're going to be good to go. Um, Tonight, as y'all know, we have a special guest on. Our special guest tonight is going to be Dee from Dee's Dark Adventures. Should be a really good show. Just going to kind of hang out and talk about some boots on the ground, some of her encounters, and what all she's had going on. Been looking forward to having her on the show. I know a lot of you've been looking forward to it. I've been getting a lot of emails asking for her to be on the show, and I've got a lot of her supporters that have reached out and are excited for tonight. So let me go ahead and we're going to skip the intro of this video mostly so we can get on with the show. So let me go ahead and bring on the co-hosts, Jesse and Randy, if he's ready.
Hello, everybody.
Got it to work. It was fighting me again.
Yeah, I said my computer shut down on me just before I was trying to get logged in.
Mine was not wanting to show any of the programs. It just stayed like a blank screen. I'm not sure what was going on.
Hmm.
Oh man, I'm gonna go ahead and throw Randy in here. I don't know if he's ready or not. I don't see him, so I'm gonna wait. I don't just want to throw him in until he's ready. So, you ready to speak with Dee tonight?
Oh, yeah. I'm excited.
I think it's going to be a fun night. I think we'll all have quite a bit of questions. I'm just kind of freelancing this one tonight, so I think nonetheless it's going to be really good.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Without further ado, guys, everybody in the chat, please welcome Dee, and remember, our moderators are on guard, just for those that are here.
Oh, there. Hi. Hi, everybody.
Hi,
How are
how are
you?
you?
I am great. I am ready for an adventure. Let's go.
It's
How's
so good to
everybody?
talk to you. Good.
Good, good.
It's always an
Yeah.
adventure around here, even if it's getting the computer to work.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I don't do well with computers either. That's why I try to stick with my phones. I do have a laptop, but sometimes I struggle with it.
Oh,
Yeah.
mine's a daily struggle. Daily.
Uh-oh.
So what's been going on?
Not much. Doing my thing, working. Working, doing my thing. Today was my son's birthday, so I did that today.
Oh,
I'm
happy
dressed.
birthday for him.
Thank you, thank you. I'm dressed to get ready to go. I got a date with my members tonight, so I'm going on an adventure with them tonight later on. So
Nice.
that's all I got going on tonight.
Oh,
But I did a live stream last night in the rain. I didn't know it was gonna rain, but it just
That
showed.
always stinks.
My radar didn't show any rain. So and then I got blasted, but I had a pretty good night last night with them on live stream. We caught some weird things. It was a weird night, but
Yeah.
ooh. And then today being your birthday. Today's also my mom's birthday, so
no,
happy birthday to both of you.
not my birthday, my son's birthday.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah, no,
today's
it's
my
okay. I
mom's
just want
birthday.
happy birthday, mom.
She's 148.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
stop.
No, not really. No. I just yeah, I tease her a lot. So I guess we'll go ahead and jump into a little bit. So what happened on your last investigation? Um,
What, the last live stream, like
Yeah.
last night.
uh-huh.
Well, I went to this old cemetery where I've caught. I don't know if you guys seen the video where I caught the spirits telling me about a werewolf from. I don't know what I can say on here. I don't want to get you in trouble, and I have a bad mouth. But anyway,
You're
from
you're
HE
fine.
double six, okay. And so I was back there because I keep catching these pointy eared leather skinned things out there, and last night was, I guess because it was going to rain, we really didn't hear much for the first 40 minutes. It poured. My live stream cut off, but right before it cut off, I was trying to get out of the trail, and through the trees on the other side of the trail, like on the left side of the trail, I saw movement as I was passing by, so I backed up, and there was a figure, and we all saw it, and it was just sitting there, staring like profile wise, but they eventually looked over at me and I was like, nah, I've got to go. I mean, I do this, but at the same time, when you're face to face that close and they're that tall, it's overwhelming. So I still want to run. I try to not run, but I do. Thank you, Nancy.
I know the feeling exactly. So what got you into into the cryptids?
Honestly, I wanted to believe in Bigfoot so much, okay? And all that stuff. Really, I did. But I was always into the paranormal, and I was doing houses and, you know, people's properties and stuff like that. And a bunch of people told me I should try YouTube and see how that works out. And I accidentally uploaded on YouTube as a, like, just messing around, and I was like, oh crap, I don't know how to do this. I don't know what happened, but everybody liked my funny videos, so I just kept going with it. But in the paranormal since I was really young and really into 16, but I wanted to do paranormal on YouTube, but I didn't want to do the same thing that everybody does, the same places, you know, Waverly, all the jails, all that stuff. I didn't want to do that. And so one night I decided to just go to the state parks, because if you don't know the lure behind the state parks, there's like 52,000, 53,000 state parks or national parks together, and they're all man-made. And they're supposed to have been Native American living, where the lake is where their tribes would have sat. That's why there's no diving, none of that stuff. But anyway, so I wanted to do paranormal there. Well, I was going around this corner, and I thought that it was a reflector, like do not drive down here kind of thing, because there's water. But it stood up, and then it ducked down and ran off into the woods. And I was like, what in the did I just see? I took off the other direction too, but then I stopped and I went live immediately, told everybody what I just saw. And I spent an hour out there singing, being goofy, whatever. And I've been hitting the ground ever since. And so I just go deep into the woods and just push record and just walk. And then all the people were seeing these things in my backgrounds and my videos before I was even seeing them. So, I mean, and then eventually they started showing themselves, and it was like, what the crap is going on? I have no idea. I'm still learning. But yeah, I got into it. I just got into it by accident, to be honest with you. It was not my intention to look for that.
I know that I had a lot of people when I was going out, like what you said, they were saying, you know, we're seeing this, and we're hearing this. And I'm like, I'm not hearing or seeing anything. And, you know, you go back and you look and you're like, okay, yeah, I didn't see that. Or,
yeah,
you know, I didn't hear that. Do you get a lot of EVPs even when you're out doing cryptids?
Yes, I do. I don't hear them a lot. If I hear them, I catch them and I'll put it in the video. But a lot of the adventurers, they catch it. They'll be like, Dee, there's a voice over yours. There's this, there's that. I don't pay attention to paranormal too much anymore. I'm on the more, I guess, the higher level of paranormal side of things, I guess. But yes, I do. Absolutely.
I know that I watched one of your shows, and it was pretty intense. And I know it was intense for you whenever it grabbed your hair.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
So what kind of, like, where was you at whenever this happened? Was it like a pretty remote place, a place you visited before, or?
Oh, I visited it a couple times with I don't know if you guys seen David on my videos. He was there with me one time, and then I went with Bear one time, and then yeah, so then I was there a couple times beforehand, but I don't know what it was, but it's the same state park that I have problems with them being aggressive. Not like physically hurting me, but growls. They mess with my car. They'll get on my car. I wish I could take my camera back here and show you all. You can see my windshield wiper. One night I was sitting there and they were done on my back windshield. And so I was trying to go drive and I couldn't move. My wheels were just skirting. This is the same place, just in a different spot of where I got attacked. So they know me in this park. This spot I just didn't know existed. It was further off into the woods I didn't even know about, an entrance. And I just took it one day. But yeah, the metal part is bent so much. You can't do it with your bare hands, and there's no tool marks or anything that shows it how bent it is from how away from the car. But it's the same park, so they're used to me there, but not in that area. If that makes sense, is what I was trying to get at. Sorry.
Right.
Yeah.
I think they're what would you call them? Unpredictable.
Absolutely. That's the it's very, I'm fearful for the most part because of what I've heard they do, but then my research is showing something else. But when they do that stuff, it could have been 1,000 times worse in my opinion. They could carry you off. They could move really fast. I could have been from here to there in minutes, miles apart from where Bear was at that time. So I don't know if it was aggravated, goofing off. I don't know what it was doing, but as soon as I felt it, I kind of blanked out. If you can hear in the video, the guy Bear, he was yelling at me to, hey,
Right.
come back. So I was like, I was losing my mind because what I felt was horrible. Like I don't ever want to see or feel that. I don't know what it belonged to, but I didn't like it.
I could hear it in your voice in the recording. We could hear it. It was, that was enough.
I don't like thinking about it because if I think about it too much, I don't want to get out there because I have to people don't understand how I do it, but I just kind of put that aside so I don't think about that because otherwise I wouldn't go back out. It's something that I love to do, and I'm seeking the truth so much. If they weren't hidden and we knew about them, I wouldn't be out looking for them right now.
Right.
Absolutely. I'm glad you said that too, because it reminds me exactly of what I do. Because if I'm like going out, like say I was going out tonight, I don't like to sit and talk about what's happened to me or,
Right.
Because if I start doing that, then I start trying to talk myself out of it. I'm like, maybe I don't want to go down there tonight. And also, I don't know if you found this to affect you, but like tonight, you're going, boots on the ground after the show.
Yeah.
Me, it seems like the later I put it out, the harder it is for me to go. It's like if I go at sunset and I watch it get dark and then I do my investigation, it's easier. But if I wait until later into the night and I'm not down there and I just drive down there in the middle of the night and get out, I have a lot harder time. It is.
I don't know if it's because it's more of their peak time and you can sense it, or if it's just in the air, or if your God-given gift to say, hey, this is not where you need to be right now, you need to go, is activated, or what it is. But I know exactly what you're talking about because you guys can hear it where there's times I'm kind of calm in the videos because I've been there all night. But then if I just show up and I'm like, hey guys, I just got here, this is happening, you can tell that I'm like really freaked out and I can't calm myself down, but I keep pushing. So I'm like a wreck out there trying to video, acting like a fool. But yeah, I get that a lot.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad you said that you actually go to like the state parks and stuff because that's usually where I go. So I do a lot of my investigating on, because I'm in Wisconsin. So I do my investigating on the Ice Age Trail, which has been known for other hikers and such to be harassed while they're out there camping because they'll actually hike and camp and then finish their hike up through the trail. Right. And, a lot of people often say, well, why would there be anything in a state park? It's a state park. Why wouldn't they be? Well, I mean, it's perfect prime area for them, regardless.
Not to interrupt, but I've noticed that going out into, say, somebody's property looking for these things and going into the state park, there's a total different demeanor. The state park has different rules than the wild, and the wild has different rules from the national parks. Mm-hmm. They all, because I've been to all, and the national parks were way more aggressive. Anytime I've went, they've been smacking my tent or chasing me to my squaggin or whatever. So the national parks I kind of stayed away from, but the state park, I just think they all have different rules. That's why I kind of stay in the state parks and not the wild or the national, because they're a little bit more uppity and not welcoming.
That's interesting that you say that, though. I mean, I wouldn't think that, the difference between the national and state park, but now that you mention it, that's interesting because of the different rules and regulations and such. They know what they can and can't get away with, huh?
Right, and they're a lot bigger, and I think that there's a lot, like in the state parks, there's no rule, like, from what I understand, every once in a while, whether it's a dog man, Bigfoot, whatever, the clan member does get challenged. So whoever the loser is gets kicked out, whether it's the challenger or the clan leader, whatever. Apparently, I'm not saying I know everything, this is what I've been told. They have to leave, and the state parks are too small to have a rogue running around. Now the national parks, that's where you get your rogue juveniles and they clan together and you get your mean little toddler teenager picking at people, destroying things. And then in the wild, you've got all the rogues pretty much in the wild ones as well. I'm not saying they're not all wild, but I'm trying to differentiate between three
Right,
different kinds. So they're all wild.
Yeah. Makes
And
sense.
that is really interesting too, because it makes you wonder too, is the ones that's on the private properties, do they kind of feel like a private property owner does? Like, this is my property. And in the state parks, you know, they expect to see people. So it's like we have a little bit more of a, you know, we'll put up with you a little more. But if you come to a private place where we're used to being and nobody else, you know, we don't really want you there poking around, because I'm sure they know what we're doing. They
Right.
know we're out there to harass them, find them, you know, communicate or interact.
Yes, absolutely. The private, I've noticed on the private property, especially if they got a lot of property, they don't go to certain areas. Like like I call them tall people, but Bigfoot and Dogman, all that, they'll come on the properties and watch from the outlines, which I've recorded that before, where the dogs are barking at them and they're just sitting on the outlines of where the dogs could go. So they would just watch from the lights. They don't really harass too much the house. There's a couple, unless it's like negative paranormal activity or spiritual activity or cryptid activity, whatever, as long as it's negative, they don't really mess with the house too much. But they kind of got boundaries there too. But the homeowners are terrified, so they know the people know, hey, we can't go over here. There's no ifs, ands, or but. You can go all you want. You do you, but I'm not going over there. And they own the land, so it's kind of weird to me.
You know, it is weird because, you know, growing up, they was at my granny's as my mom was a child, and then as I was a child growing up. It's kind of like they would enjoy scaring us. That was one of the things they enjoyed, was scaring you, like making noises or scratching on the house, or, you know, whistling at you, or, you know, looking in the window at you, or,
That's
you know,
the
just
stuff I get. Yeah,
oof.
they come to my house. You guys, I got videos of them coming to my house looking through my windows. And
I remember that.
It's not it's an overwhelming feeling. And like when they were on my roof, apparently this is when I learned that they were able to, not just the Bigfoot, but the Dogman are able to slip, because they stuck its head. I got a picture of it where they stuck their head through my wall and it looked like I had a taxidermy Dogman head on my wall. But when I put the pictures up on my channel of what it looks like without it, it's just my window. They had stuck their head through my window in the curtain and was looking right at me while they were climbing all over my roof. You could hear the boards creaking. They were so heavy.
Wow.
It's crazy, but they could break in. They just don't. I don't know if they're messing with me, if they got a whole plan, like, hey, let's get her comfortable, and then I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't know what's going on, but I'm here for the ride.
Right. You know, I used to wonder that as a kid too, because I was always like, you know, what's keeping them from coming in? Because you know, they would get on our roof, and they would hang over the roof and beat on the door or beat on the window. And, you know, Granny, she was always so confident though. She would always say, you know, don't worry, as long as we got the door shut and the window shut, you know, they're not going to come in. She'd always say that they're not going to come in.
Yeah, that's crazy that she had confidence like that, because I'd be terrified. That's why I got the bus. Like, I have this little squaggin that I use a lot in my videos, and it got crowded. And at the same time, I was like, man, this don't feel safe. They're getting bigger and stronger, and they're ripping up trees. This is nothing to them. Not saying a bus is any better, but at the same dang time, that's a tank.
Right.
And I'm going to be staying out in the woods. I need a tank. I need a tank.
Definitely a lot.
In case they decide they want to come in, you know?
That's a lot better than an aluminum siding, right?
Right. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
So did your paranormal pick up any, you think, once you started doing cryptids? Do you think they're related?
I want to say yes and no. Yes, when I'm out there, if I have my Necrophonic on, which a lot of people don't like that app, but at the same time, I've proven that app picks up some crazy stuff. I mean, you just turn it on, and once you get to talking to it and stuff, like, these things will talk to you, and they know my name. Especially at locations, I don't have to introduce myself. I don't notice paranormal too much at my house. It's when I'm outside with my neighbor hanging out or something, or walking the dogs. I'll hear voices that I don't understand where they came from, or cries, or kids screaming at 12 a.m. in the morning out in the here. But I don't know if that's related to them coming to my house and they brought it or I brought it. I think paranormal is kind of everywhere. You go to the grocery store, you might see or hear something. You never know. I mean, it's just my opinion. It's just everybody's had an experience of some sort, and but I've not noticed too much paranormal picking up on the videos. If I usually do have a mix of both on my videos. You'll see something that doesn't look right, but the paranormal absolutely picks up outside of the state parks, in the national parks. The national parks, I do notice a lot more paranormal. I can see them out there. I've caught that on camera where I was out at LBL and freaked myself out because I saw a man walk through, and I could still describe him. He had a white and black flannel long sleeve shirt on. He had one of those hats on that had the thingies on the ears, jeans, and those boots that like hunters or farmers wear to just walk outside and slip them right on. And he had a shotgun, and he was just walking, and it scared me to death. And that's the first time that I was actually able to see something so full like that. And then when I went to Salt Fork, I kept seeing little tiny figures running that looked like children, but a white mist. But I see that stuff in the national parks. But the one park that I go to, I don't know what's going on up there because I've recorded deer just disappearing right in front of your face. I don't know if that's paranormal. I've watched the deer turn into a mist on live stream and go up into the air. The adventurers will remember that. So I don't know. Honestly, now that I'm starting to think about it, I don't know. Maybe. I mean, it's just so many weird things. I do notice a lot of activity in the sky around these things a lot recently. Just recently picking these things up. I've noticed a lot of sky activity, but
That's really interesting.
The paranormal's kind of, I guess, hit and miss, I guess, with them. Because I do have a lot of voices heard in my videos, but I don't hear them myself. So I kind of just don't count it until I go back and look at it from the timestamps kind of thing.
That's interesting because where I'm going, there is a lot of aerial phenomenon going on. And I got busted in the face, I think it was last year. One of them hit me in the face on a live with a limb, which blacked my eye, cut my arm. Pretty good hit. I was swollen and almost immediately black. It knocked the phone out of my hand and everything.
Jeez.
And then this year,
hey Mike, why did that happen? Can you tell her that?
Oh, buddy, what'd you do? What'd you do?
Yeah, I was. I knew that I had one following me, and it was paralleling me. I could hear it, and it was in some like shrubbery. I couldn't see it, but I lied, and I was like, "I see you. You're not hiding very well." And I just kept walking, and it seemed to get a little agitated. It started like kind of growling, and I told it if it didn't stop, that I was gonna, I think, like spank its butt or switch its butt or something. And I maybe walked maybe 15, 20 more yards, and then boom, right in the face, man. My camera flies off, my light flies off, cut my arm, my eye was swollen, my eye was black. I think it might have busted my lip.
Lord, dude. Yeah. Every time I go out with some guys, I mean, you guys do some crazy stuff, and I'm not staying. You guys can do that stuff all you want. I'm out. Like, you guys do some crazier stuff than I can. Like, being out with guys before, I'm like, they're just being male. I have nothing to do with it. Like, don't do that.
Here's the issue with that night. His sister was with him, Sarah, and Sarah warned him to stop taunting them twice before this event happened.
Dude, Mike. Tisk, man. Tisk.
Yeah, and then this year, I got hit again, not as hard. It actually hit my hand and knocked the phone out of my hand and stuff. But there was another one hiding. I can't remember what I said to it, but I said something, and it did that. Now, the last boots on the ground that I just done, I saw something, D. I don't know what the hell it was, to be honest with you. And I don't know if you've seen anything like it. I found out, and I don't know if there's anything to it, but it seems to be when I turn my white lights out and I go red light only, shit starts happening close. I turned it on, my last boots on the ground. There was 2 large trees, probably 8 foot apart. In between them was shrubbery, and it goes out into a large open field that then reconnects back to a creek. I turned on my red light, and I'm sitting there, and I can hear it walking. I can hear it breathing. I know it's there. And I'm looking, and then I see movement. The red light, to me, I can pick up movement better in the red light
The
than I
shadows, yeah.
can. Yeah. I seen the shadow, the darkness, and I was like, I see you.
hmm
And when I said I see you, it seems to be what I say to him. I should stop because it seems like that doesn't work out very well. But
They don't
I'm
like
like,
it.
yeah, I'm like, I see you, and it stops, and it turns its head sideways. The eye shine immediately appears. It looks like, man, the best way I can explain it, and I hate to sound like other people, but it looked like a jackal's head,
Ooh, okay.
except for it had horns, like deer horns.
Oh no.
I'd never seen anything like that in my life.
I've seen shadows in the
Mm.
background. I'll be like, does that thing have horns? And I'm like, nah, I ain't staying long enough to figure it out. I don't want nothing. No horns. No
Yeah, I
horns for you. I'm
mean,
good.
that was definitely a pucker moment because I was like,
Absolutely. But that red light, they can see it. From what I understand, their eyes they're from what I've been told and understand, their eyesight is night vision, but it's also more like when the sun's setting and it's kind of got that yellowish, orangish tint, and you can see everything real well right before it gets dark. That's how they see all the time. So that red light, they can still see that you have a light on, but what is it? It's smaller to them. The beam, the round part. So when you got that big bright white light on, they don't know the distance. But they can see through that red light and see you, so they can tell the distance. When you got the regular light on, they can't tell the distance. That's why they stay so far away. But
yeah,
I think they still don't think that you can see them, so they're moving up on you. I get a lot of them behind me, and if I turn the camera talking to it, you'll see them behind me a lot. People catch them all the time. I've got the dog man photo of that one just standing right behind me, and I mean he's about 7.5, 8 foot tall. I think it was a he. I didn't see no girly parts, so the girly parts are very, very out. You can see those on both breeds or both creatures.
Well,
You know,
no, go
I was
ahead.
going to say, it's interesting that you said that about behind you because there was, and it happened almost the same time. Okay, so let me back up. Mike had been out after doing an investigation. He had gotten back to the truck, and he went to turn around to talk to the audience. And as he flipped it around, he flipped the camera around so it was facing him, but he was distracted because he had a bug on his shirt or on his chest. But whatever it was that was behind him must have figured that he was facing the camera in the other direction because it walked right between the vehicle of his headlights and the camera, and everybody could see it walk right past. I kid you not. It was the same time. It was right before or after, but it was the same time frame that you had that cryptid head, big, huge head thing standing outside of your window that you caught on the, I don't know if it was a thermal camera that you had out your back window of your room.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
But it looked like almost like a person with a big, huge head on, but it wasn't because it was a thermal because you could actually see the heat signature.
Yeah, that video got ripped apart. I was like, I ain't taking it down because that ain't me. My window's up 8 freaking foot. That's not a person, so I don't care what y'all say, but I get what you're saying. That big head on a little body is weird.
That was the same thing that happened with his video. Everybody turned around and ripped it apart. But it looked almost identical. mean, so here we have, both of you guys, two separate channels, almost exactly at the same time this is going on. But that's not the first. I mean, that is significant compared to some of the other stuff that you guys have had so similar in
Right.
episodes. Like you might go out and then, the next day he's going out and the same stuff is happening, or vice versa. He's gone out and then the next time you go out, it's the same stuff that is happening, the same strange voices or sounds or strange things that are going on. Because I mean, there's been other incidents too that I'm like, what the heck? That just happened in D's.
Yeah.
What's going on? And I'm wondering if it's that time frame or with Mike's idea with the moon phases, or there's no, I don't know. It's just crazy.
No, I didn't even know that anybody else had anything like that. So that's cool as crap, because like people are like, oh, it's fake, that's a person. I'm telling you all,
Oh
I
yeah.
had it up high and that was 7.5, 8 feet. Now they would have been I keep hearing a person walk around me. I'm sorry.
No.
There's a neighbor over there walking in the leaves. So I'm sorry. But when it walked through, there was something smaller than it, which was like barely almost out of the camera. And that thing was taller and it was just walking. Like they weren't even paying attention except for that little one. Whatever that was, I don't even know what the heck that was. It had bulging eyes, like a bug, and like a weird mate. Like it was weird. And I was like, man, you all suck. Cause I know, I know that the people next to me, I'm like a bohemian. Okay. I'm like an Amazon. Right. I'm tall, and the neighbors and people around here are all older or younger, and they're shorter than I am. So and nobody knew that I was putting a camera up that day anyway to be messing with it. And I'm not going to sit there and jeopardize my channel just to have a thermal on there. No.
Right.
So it was weird, but I have no idea. Like I do know I strike out more. I strike out more when the moon's full. I get a lot of calls and stuff like that. But if it's a cloudy night, cool. With the full moon, it's cloudy. I get a lot of stuff. But if it's a bright night, it's dead. Like they don't howl. They don't do nothing. So far, I mean, there's a couple nights where I've caught things, but it was not a full moon and it was up there real small. But when that super moon, I went out that night and I was like, oh, we're going to get some cool stuff. Oh, we're going to see some stuff, guys. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Not a coyote call, nothing. And I'm like, what the crap? This should have been like werewolf heaven or cryptid heaven. They could see everything, but the lighting just depends because of the way they see. They can see at night with no lights on, period.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, I think different lightings affect them and different moon cycles. But I do notice about the middle of the month to the end of the month, they do mess with me more at my house, because I'm usually out at the beginning of the month a lot more than I am the rest of the month.
Hey, D, do you have a YouTube channel, D?
Absolutely, yes. I've actually got 2.
Well, give me one at a time, and then I'll save the link, and then when I'm advertising for everybody that's been on Mike's channel, I'll throw yours up there as well.
Okay,
go ahead.
Well, it's D's Dark Adventures. Go away, neighbor Jeezel. Sorry, guys. I keep looking at my shoulder. I'm not paranoid. They keep getting food delivered or something. I don't know what they're doing.
You mentioned the low light. Whenever I don't know, my background was I done investigations. That's what I did as an investigator. And whenever I started looking like seriously into this, and oh God, since I was young, really, but when I opened my channel was 2021, and I really started trying to put investigative practice with cryptid as best I could without tangible, provable evidence. And I came out with what you was talking about, the moon theory. I noticed when I would go through, encounters and attacks, these cover-up dog attacks, all this, and then knowing what I knew growing up, my mom's mom, and then she had 8 kids, so there was a lot of witnesses. So that the low light, the lighter moons always seem to be the more aggressive, the attacks, the murders. And then, I started looking at it and I got to thinking, if they are a predator they already hear better than us. They already smell better than us. They're already quieter. They move faster.
Absolutely faster. Fast.
So, right. So, I mean, if they can see better than us, why not wait to hunt on the night you have every advantage?
But just like every other predator, on full moons, most predators don't hunt because they strike out.
That's what I think.
They can't. Coyotes, werewolves, wolves, cougars, cats, everything. They strike out when it's a full moon because everything can see them coming.
That's what I think too.
Yes, sir.
I just is that I just made a link. Is that the right YouTube channel? Dee's Dark Adventures. Am I at the right place?
I don't know. How do I see?
Oh, can you
All
see it
behind you?
here?
Yeah, that's me. That's me. That's me. I see my Bigfoot and Dogman fighting. Yeah, that's me.
What's the other one? The other channel?
It's Scary Explorations with D. And you can see it's got grass in the background. My dog's in it.
But you know, the nights I hate going out on is right after a no moon, when that first quarter comes out. That seems like that is so bad. I mean, the no moon is bad, but I don't know, that first quarter.
Yeah.
I've had times when I went down there and I wanted to chicken out. I was like, I
That's when
don't feel
sit in my
like
car.
I've done that.
I'll
I've done
record from
that.
my car. I ain't getting out. You guys can be right here with me in my car. I ain't getting out.
Have you ever showed up somewhere and have a feeling like you don't even want to be there? Like,
Absolutely.
you know, I just want to go home. You know, this is not a good night.
No kitty. Yeah, absolutely. All the time. That's why I'm on edge, because I fight the feeling. I get that gut feeling, and you guys can tell when I'm more nervous and more annoying and, oh my God, jumping at everything. It's because I'm fighting that, get the hell out of here, girl. What are you doing? Why are you here? Why are you doing this? Go. You should be here. Absolutely. It's like in your stomach, right under your rib cage, and it's like you need to go. And when I'm out with people, they've learned when I say we need to go, because they're not listening to all that. And I've learned when that feeling comes up, you got to go. And it's hard to explain. It's like, I don't know if it's a telepathical thing they're doing. It's like, not tonight. Tonight's not the night. Like, you don't need to be here. You need to go elsewhere. There's a spot in the park where I caught most of my dog man and aggressive activity, that they would do that stuff. So yeah, my cat's messing with me and I can't quit. You're making me mess up. I can't remember what I was saying. I'm sorry. My cat keeps trying to get in my truck. I'm sorry. I forgot what I was saying. But yes, that feeling gets really bad. And I don't know if they're giving it to you or what it is, but absolutely I get it a lot, especially the more deep I go in.
I had one down there. I nicknamed it the Screamer because it screams at me, and I hate that.
I get them. They just call for me. I'll hear them, like they'll either wood knock. I'll scream before I turn the camera. Where are you? Let me know where you are. And I'll start doing all my stuff, and I'll honk my horns and all that. And then I turn the camera on, and I just wait. And there's sometimes where I turn it right on, and I can hear them knocking as soon as I get there. They're just bam, 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 and I'll follow that sound like an idiot. But I follow it, and then it stops, and I'm like, oh, they know I'm coming. They know I'm coming. Why'd they stop?
Right.
I'm on a lot, cat. Sorry.
I do.
I'm sorry.
I do that also. I'm like, I'll be down there and I'll hear something. And I'll be like, let's go see what it is. It's kind of like, you know, the clown under the bridge. I've got a new fishing pole. You know, you're like, oh.
Yeah. But no, sometimes I follow those sounds and I find the most amazing structures. If I didn't I do everything they tell you not to do, whether it's in the Appalachian Mountains or in the jungles of wherever they tell you not to do these certain things, I do them. And whistling, calling, screaming, acting like an idiot out there, pretty much just like a jester out there entertaining whatever's watching, squirrels, all of it. And now there's a certain spot that if I show up to, most of the time they're immediately already there waiting. They know I'm coming, whether they can hear my car or they sense me or they're watching me. I don't know, but they know as soon as I'm getting there. It's crazy to me.
Mm-hmm.
I think I have one of your viewers here. They said, tell us about the 14-foot Bigfoot dog man that you stood in front of that was heart pounding. I think
Oh,
it's what.
that was on a live stream too, I believe. I might be wrong, but I was at the same park that we've been talking about. And I was coming up from this hill where I get a lot of dogman calls. I call it Howler Hill because that's where these howls come from that are just, we don't have wolves here, and that's too big to be a regular wolf. I don't care. So I called it Howler's Hill, but I was coming up and I was turning around and there's these trees, like they're kind of like pine trees. And you can see this one and it kind of stands up and ducks behind the trees real slow. And I didn't even notice it. I didn't hear it. And this thing was up really tall. And it was just, I couldn't believe that they can exist that big. How are you that big and moving around? What are you eating? Like, I mean, this thing was huge. And it's at the park where it's the biggest park I was going to at the time. And it's only 30,000 acres that I know of, maybe 38,000 or something like that. Acres. I don't know if that's square acres or regular acres. I'm not sure, but I think it's square. I think it's square acres. But yeah, I don't understand it. I don't know how they don't make a footprint that big. I mean, I lit it up and everything, lightened it up to make sure that it wasn't like the way a tree was blowing, but absolutely not. That was crazy to me that was able to do that. Like, I don't when I saw the ones that were like, 10 foot, 11 foot, when I would cry because you don't understand how big these guys are. And you can imagine all you want in your head, how big you think they are. But when you see one of these and they're in front of you and they're that flipping big, you know what? Guys, now that you mentioned that, I was on a live stream and this big one about the same dang height, maybe a little bit smaller, but squatted down, cornered me on that hill, Howler's Hill. Same damn spot. I'm sorry. Same spot that just connected. Sorry. I'm wondering if it's the same one because its eyes was huge. And if you amp up the volume in that, you can actually hear it. I'm begging to let me go. Please let me go. I'm on my knees. Let me go. And
Oh yeah.
you
Okay,
can hear it go.
I remember that one.
Yeah, I was like, I had one in the background banging, and everybody's like, D, run. There's nowhere I can flip and go, guys. My exit is blocked right now. I have nowhere to go. Left and right, I'm just going into their damn territory more. He's in my way. I got to go. And he's just standing there with these big old eyes. And this thing is on a hill. I'm up here off this hill. And this thing is on this hill looking down at me back here. And I didn't know what to do. I just got down on my knees. I'm like, first time ever I've begged like this in my life. I don't even know how to do it. But I am begging you, let me go. Because I thought red eyes meant that I did something wrong.
Right.
Because 20 minutes before that, about 15 minutes before that, something like that in the live stream, you can see where that one was cocking its head on the live stream. And it was, you could hear it talking to me over the box. It was telling me to calm down, breathe. It's okay. All that stuff is talking right to me. I swear it wasn't. Calm down. Wow. I'm like, oh my God, guys. It's like, calm down, take a breath, breathe. And, so yeah, I think that might actually been the same one. I'm not sure. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's kind of same spot. I might have ran into him again, but he was huge. I was terrified. Sorry.
Question for you. How are these things communicating? Are you hearing them with your ears? Are they speaking to you through like telekinesis, through the mind?
I've heard
through
both.
the brain?
I've had both. Absolute both. They know English. Absolutely. Unless they're mocking what we're saying, they know English.
When you're saying people don't know how big these creatures are, I've been close to these. Some people call them werewolves, dogmen. These creatures they look like a wolf.
Yes.
The size of a horse, if not larger. I've seen them. I've seen young ones and small. I've seen the young ones. They're small. Some of the larger ones I've seen from 15 to 20 foot tall.
If I saw a dog, I'd lose my crap. Because I mean, I've kind of gotten used to the 8 foot-ish, because that's what it's around me is like about 8 foot. I'd say 9 max, but I think it's 8, about 7 and 8 foot is what I'm used to.
A few years ago, my wife and I live in the country. We live on like a farmland. We have the water that runs in the sinks and stuff runs on water or a well water. And one night about 3 o'clock, my wife wakes me up and tells me that it was October the 16th, a few years ago. And It was about 3 o'clock, a little bit after 3 o'clock. By the time I get dressed and I'm walking out there, it's like 3:33 when I'm beside the barn in this fence row, and there's a row of trees just on the other side of this fence. And as I'm walking, I've got a headlamp on that's very bright. Out of the corner of my left eye, I see movement. And I look to my left, and there's this female wolf creature. She has white rings around her eyes. The top of her snout's like 3 feet long, and her entire top of her snout was white. The rest of her hair was white, black, and gray.
Yeah, they always have that white muzzle.
I couldn't see skin on her except on her knuckles. Now, her hands were covered with fur, but on her knuckles, she had hands like us.
Ouch.
She had 4 fingers on top, and she had thumbs underneath. Her 4 top hands, I could see on the knuckles, I could see between the hair, I could see the little wrinkles in the knuckles of the skin.
Mm-hmm.
Now, on her top, she had these, I would say, 15 to 17-inch long claws on top. I'm like 2 feet away from her. I'm 6'2", 290 pounds, and with one hand, she could have picked me up and swallowed me whole.
That's crazy.
She could have cut me in half with those claws because I'm standing close to her, but she didn't. She turned at a 45-degree angle away from me and just froze there. Now, because of my bright light, I couldn't see her eyes because her eyes are closed. She stood there perfectly still for like 3 to 5 minutes, 2 feet away from me, with no expression on her face. And then after the 3 to 5 minutes, the whole time I've been scanning her up and down, getting a good look, taking everything in. Like her claws were V-shaped. The top of the claws was wider than the bottom, and they were like in a V-shaped pattern, slightly curved. And then after the 3 to 5 minutes, I'm looking at her face, and all of a sudden, there's been no expression in her lips.
Flippin' smile.
Suddenly,
Yep.
they go up ear to ear, not from your teeth, and then she opens a portal and steps through it and vanishes right before my eyes.
That's insane. That smile, man. That got me when they do that freaking smile. I don't know what they're trying to do. Like, hey, I'm nice. Don't. Hey, like I don't know what that damn smile is, but it is creepy, and I'm wondering if that's where the whole smiling dog came from.
I've walked up on these creatures sleeping with my horse from 2 to 12 in a circular pattern, perfectly spaced in a circle around my horse. And I've walked up to right behind my horse, and all of a sudden, I see them. It's like they're invisible. They're hard to see.
Uh-huh.
I walked up there. I could see these blurry visions in the grass, but I couldn't make them out until I was standing 2 feet from my horse.
It looks like a oil spill, like you see on the ground, like the road when you're driving by that little shimmery. Yeah.
Like a blurry image on like a cloak on a camera is the best description I can give you. They have a way to where they can bend the light around their bodies.
Something.
To make
Yeah.
it hard for our, but what's amazing, as I'm standing there for 2 to 3 minutes, this one day I had my sidearm on me, on my hip, but these things are as big, if not larger than my horse, and they're sleeping. I'm standing there looking at them. I feel like a kid in a candy store because I'm amazed. Every time I've encountered these things, I'm blown away by them. They've never shown any aggression. The only time they showed me their teeth was when one night I went to the store, and while I was gone, one came up and was howling at my wife walking around the house. So I went back there trying to teach him a lesson, and I got schooled real quick.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I got schooled real quick. Okay?
There's nothing. I've heard
You know,
people that's taken shotguns straight to their face and it's done nothing. Nothing.
I went back there yelling and screaming of them, and I had one of them, 20-foot creatures, walk up to me within 20 feet, and he wasn't a bit afraid of me.
No,
He just
absolutely.
walked. He just kept walking up to me, and I wasn't stupid enough to pull my firearm on him. I realized at that point that they didn't care that I was armed.
Absolutely. Now that's why people are like, "Oh, you should carry," or "D, why don't you pull your gun out?" Because it ain't gonna do nothing. It's doing nothing but pissing them off. It's all.
One Halloween night, my wife. I'm sorry. My wife leaves me here by myself, and something around midnight lands on the rooftop. I grab my shotgun, step outside. I step away from the roof so I can see. I step away from the house so I can get a better picture of what's on the roof. And as I'm looking up there, I can see this black creature. and I had a headlamp, and my light is being absorbed by this thing. Even though my light is on it, all I can see is a black figure of a winged creature with red glowing eyes. I'm 12 feet away. I've got triple-odd buck. It's staggered, slug, triple-odd buck. Slug, triple-odd buck. I fired 3 rounds at it. Center mass. I know the slugs impacted it because I can see them hit, and it laughs at me.
It laughs.
It freaking laughs
Wow.
at me.
Nah. You laugh at me.
My
a brick's coming out. A brick is in my pants. No, don't laugh at me. That's not. I'm being confident and strong, and I'm gonna whoop you. And then all of a sudden you're like, like, all right, let's go, girl. Nah.
Right.
I had a well. She normally she goes everywhere I go, but that night she wouldn't even go out the front door, and she looked at me like, "Don't go out there."
I've got one that follows me, and that's when you asked me that if I've communicated with them telepathically, and I've with the dogmen mainly. I've got one that I only know his name because he told me, and that's Mikkel. And everybody's like, "Who's Mikkel?" And that's the black dog man that you guys see in my videos all the time in the background or in front of me watching. Sometimes he has a brownish tint depending on where the sun's at. But he has no white muzzle. He's all black. And he's got shark eyes. Guys, their eyes, there's no white. These are shark eyes. They're like black. Like black-eyed children, they're black. They don't have eyes like we do. The Bigfoots have a human eyeball. That's where you get that human, when hunters go to shoot them, they look at you, they're human in the face. But the dogmen, no. They got, their eyes are very hard to look at. They're just all black. And I don't.
Yeah,
it's weird. They're like they don't even have a shine to them. They're like a matte black, and it's so weird and creepy, and it's really hard. So you can't look them in the eyes the same way you can a Bigfoot.
I wonder if that's because their eyes are absorbing the low light. Maybe they're not reflecting it; they're absorbing it, and then maybe that is why you get that reflection.
Maybe. Everyone I've caught, those eyes are black. Yeah.
When I've seen them in the day, they would wake up and look at me. You're exactly right. Their eyes are black. I didn't see any white pupils like the human eyes.
No pupil, no slit, nothing. It's just a matte black, like a contact. Psh.
Now at nighttime, their eyes glow. I've seen orange, green, yellow, and red eye color.
The one that was looking through my window was green. It almost looked just like, I was thinking, because I didn't want to think that it was a dogman looking in my window. But it's too tall, and I even said, guys, does that look like night vision, like somebody with some goggles looking through my window?
Yeah,
because it's what it looked like was night vision goggles, the green. But it was too tall. There's no human out there unless it's an army super soldier coming to my window to look through the bathroom. I don't understand why it was doing that. But the eyes,
on their vision, I think their eyes are similar to the movie Predator, that they can change the different spectrum that they're looking through. Because one night, Mike is on a boots on the ground. He's looking at this creature. It's got dim orange eyes. Yep. And he's looking at it with the video camera. And suddenly, it's like somebody turned on the high beams. The light, their eyes, as he's looking at the camera, they brighten.
Yeah,
they like double the brightness.
They project their own light. I've proven that a lot in my videos. I turn the lights out and you can still see their eyes.
Mike just put that up with his boots on the ground. He'll be looking at them with just a video camera, and they're off in the distance, and they're glowing red or orange, and it's ambient light. It's not light being reflected from their eyes.
Yeah.
Like I agree with you. That means they have night vision. They can see in the dark naturally.
Absolutely.
Now,
I thought it was the light when I first saw it, but because I always had a light on, and I'm like, oh, well, eventually when I got the nerve to turn the lights out, the adventurers would be like, dude, do you got eye shine? I'm like, I'm in the dang dark. How y'all seeing this crap? And then here we go. They project their own light. Absolutely. And
I'm not trying to talk over you. I apologize.
We're excited. It's okay. It's fine. You're fine. No hate. You're good.
But it's nice to have
everybody anyway. I'm doing it too.
It's nice to talk to somebody that's encountered these things, because for years I didn't talk about this. For 20 years I've had encounters, and I didn't even talk to them. Well, a lot of the reason why I couldn't remember, by the time I'd get to the house to tell my wife, the memory of the encounter would be gone. I simply couldn't remember it.
Yeah, it's like how I explain it. And when you have a kid, like how women do, the man remembers the experience of the woman, of your wife or significant other having that baby, like that. But us women, we wouldn't have 10 other kids if we remembered exactly every single little twinge. And it's like a fog that we know it
Right?
hurts. We know it's going to be painful, but we don't understand until we're back in it again. Like, why did we do this to ourselves? You know?
Right.
So, it's like that to me anyway. That's the only way I can explain it. Is it people are like, do you remember that one time? And I'm like, yeah, a little bit. Let me go back to the video real quick. Oh yeah. I'll tell you now. I remember it because I have to kind of put it back, or I can't go out there. I can't do it. I cannot go out there
Exactly.
remembering every little thing that's happened to me. I can't do it.
Now,
And-
D, there's something else I want to talk to you about. You said one of these things had stuck its head through the wall. Can you kind of talk about that? Because that sounds like it opened a dimensional portal at your wall and stuck its head through to say hi to you. Is
I
that a
don't know if it was a
possibility?
portal. It didn't. I didn't see a portal around it. It just looked like it could. If it, my theory is, if they wanted to, this is just my theory, guys. I'm not saying it's true or not. It's just a stupid theory, okay? If they wanted to come into your house, rip you up into shreds, and leave, they can, and nobody would know what happened to you. Whether it's a portal they're opening or they're just walking through walls, because I don't know how it works. But yeah, the head was just. It was sticking straight through my wall, but there was no glowing light around it. There was nothing. It was just there. And it was, you could see him looking at me through the right side of his eye. Like he stuck his head through and was like, what's she doing in there? And they were all on top of my roof. But yeah, there was no light. There was no nothing. I didn't see him. The adventurers caught him and showed me the screenshot. And then I went back in the video and I'm like, are you kidding me? You stuck your head through my wall? What are you doing? So like,
Right.
I don't know when they're on. They haven't been around the last couple weeks. I don't know if that's a thing or not, like what they're doing, but usually my neighbor can't even go outside without her hearing things. She's got things happening over at her house now because she's hanging out with me. And so they're picking on her over there, knocking on the back of the house, or and our house just faces, the back of our house is just face woods. So, you know, like a little strip of woods is pretty thick, but they just stay back there and they knock on it, and I don't know if they're looking through my walls all the time. I'm not constantly recording. I'm sure I would have their heads poking through all the time.
Well, D, these creatures, to add to your theory, here's some information. I believe, based on my observations over 20 years, that these creatures have supernatural abilities that we don't know anything about. Whatever these creatures are, calling them a race of woven creatures, they're like human beings. They're not a human transformed into a monster. I believe these are a natural occurring race of creatures that shared this earth since the creation of the earth. And they've been here ever since.
I have a theory, but it's just like a theory. I don't know, but I think they were, because I don't know. Have you talked to any people that do any DNA, chromosome stuff like that, DNA work on these guys?
I'm actually really good friends with Travis Carpenter.
Okay. Has he told you about the whole DNA theory?
Oh yeah, his dad, Scott Carpenter. I was a big follower of him and Melba Ketchum and all of them. And we've done some shows actually where he has went over some of his dad's data about the, mitochondria DNA and everything. And I'm biblical. I'm a Christian, so I biblically investigate them from a biblical standpoint.
Yep.
And it just appears to me, even as an investigator, that the evidence points that these are a fallen angel product.
Riddle me this real quick, Mike. While you just said that, I have had these things chase me, and I'll say, "Jesus Christ, help me," and they quit. When that thing had pulled me back by my hair and my hood, you can hear me say Jesus, and it lets me go. Explain to me if this was something that was whatever. Why would that?
Right.
Why would that be the thing that triggers them? Why would that trigger them like that?
There's
Just
there's power in the
something there.
name. It's
Right.
the power in it's the power in the name.
Men.
But if aliens created these things like people think, like, which I have a whole theory on aliens too, which I don't
Right.
want to go into on here tonight, but I don't believe in them the way other people do. And if aliens are creating these things from a whole other planet, why would Jesus work against them?
It's not aliens.
Thank you.
There are
Agreed.
no there
Yeah.
there are no aliens.
Right. Thank you. See, I thought I was the only weird one, man. Oh, God bless. The aliens
No.
are
Yeah,
they are. Okay, good.
yeah.
All right.
You know, look this up whenever you get a chance later. I believe what we're dealing with, and I know a lot of people, Nephilim is a big word, and it's not. I don't think it's wrong to say Nephilim. I believe they're a
Right.
product of the
It just
Nephilim. But
means it
look
means
up, uh,
angel means pretty much.
look up Eliod, the Eliods.
Ah, yeah. I've
That
heard a little bit. I heard a little bit about them. Yes.
that's where I think it goes into the descendants of the Nephilim. You know, the Nephilim
Yep.
died in the flood, but then somehow or another, that DNA came over into be again. And, you know, there's a lot of speculation. One of Noah's son's wives wasn't clean. She carried the blood of the Nephilim.
Yep.
The Eliod was born. Here comes everything else. You know, you've got, you know, Goliath. He was an Eliod. His brothers were Eliods.
Right.
You know, but we could go down that forever.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. But the whole that was I was saying about the whole DNA thing. It was just I just kind of had to know where that came from, because that also takes my theory into why I think I have better luck than men do. Not saying men don't have luck, but they're more aggressive towards men, and like with me, they're kind of playful. They like the stuff that I do out there. They're watching me. I'm entertaining. They're not there to hurt me that I know of, but that it's just females in history have been known to be more nurturing, and men in history have been more brute force and let's kill everything kind of things. And I think that um if the DNA was a mother of a human kind of thing, whatever, then I think that's kind of plays into why women get, I don't know why. I mean, I just, that's one of my theories why I think women are more attracting to these things than men are.
Oh,
in my opinion.
absolutely.
Well, my whole thought, and I would be careful with that theory. I think that the reason why they are a little bit different with women is because we are the bearers of life, and the men are, especially for the, I mean, with the theory being that these are the Iliad and the offspring of the Nephilim. With a woman being out there investigating these things, we are a higher at a higher chance of being taken by these things because of the fact that we are the ones that can bring on the new life for them.
Can they tell if you can or can't? Do you think they know that from like smelling
Yes.
you or what? Because I can't
Yes.
have kids. I can't have
Yes.
kids anymore. So
I think they can.
that was what scared me when I first went out there, was being kidnapped, and everybody's like, "Oh, well, if you can't have kids, then don't worry about that."
No,
Kind of thing. And I'm like, I don't know. What if they
No.
want to have
Well,
a fun night or something? They don't care about the kids or not. They just want to.
that's exactly, yeah, that's what I was going to say. I would say, D, that you're in just as much danger as a woman that could bear a child, because
Yeah.
you know, we know that, you know, we believe the Book of Enoch, and I don't believe all the Book of Enoch, but I won't go
Right.
into that either. But
Right.
we know that it says that they took women into themselves. They didn't ask women; they took women. They raped them, and they are the products of the enemy. So we know they're perverted. We know they are of perversion. So I think exactly what you said. Some of them may not care about having babies. That they just may be out like, you know, a rapist for that thrill, that empowerment, you know. And then that
Have
goes
fun tonight, Dee.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Thanks so much, guys.
And
I
then
got your chastity belt, man.
and I think that kind of goes into the sirens and the mermaids and the thought, you know, behind those.
How they be with men, yeah. How the
So
men's more sirens. I noticed when you talking about that on the men's side, men have more luck with the sirens than women do. Like
Right.
getting them to talk and sing and recording them. Like I've not seen many women come out with it. I'm not saying they haven't, but a lot of men get lured more away. The tribes over in other countries, they say that their men get lured away a lot, stuff like that.
yeah.
So I mean, that's a whole nother
And then
topic,
they end up getting
but yeah.
drowned.
Yeah.
They find them drowned, you know.
Yeah.
And they sing, you know, to get their attention, and
Just let them
you know.
they'll just walk right into the water and disappear and come back floating. It's crazy.
You know what I find interesting, though, that I think really is something to look into, is these creatures being able to make these noises higher and lower than what we can hear.
Yeah,
We
my
know the
camera picks it up
Bible,
all the time.
you know, the Bible says Satan had musical instruments inside of him. I believe that to be the vocal cords. I believe that they have the ability through their vocal cords, the Bible calls them instruments, I believe it was a metaphor, to do this. And if they're able to do that, that would almost explain the sirens singing, these things being able to go higher and lower than what we're able to hear. They use infrasound.
Hmm.
They are able to use sound in ways we're not able to. So if they can do that with sound, why could they not do it with light when the Bible says that he even shows himself as the light bearer, the morning star? I mean,
Right.
that could go really, really deep.
Right. Well, I get that a lot. Like people are saying everything, you're messing with demons, 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 demons. And I'm religious, but I just can't look at everything as a demon. I'm not saying these things aren't. I don't know what they are.
Right.
I can't think of everything all that happened because of a demon. I can't do that. I don't believe that everything in my life is aspecting into a demon just to get my attention off God. I mean, it could be, I don't know, but um I've just seen what I just think they're like both of us, like people. There's good people, there's bad people. Whether evil's working through them or they're part of evil, I'm not sure, but I have seen some crazy humanity life-saving kind of things from these creatures. Not personally. I mean, there's a couple things where they've helped me get out of situations being lost and stuff like that. I'll be like, I'm lost, and I'll sit down, and you can hear them knocking, and I just decide to follow the knock, and they lead me right out. They could have led me right into a nest to get what you said, the grape word. I don't want to keep using that on your channel, but no. So I mean, I don't know. It's just a guess, and like, I'm not saying that I'm not in trouble. I'm not saying I'm not. I'm good. I'm just. I haven't seen, especially with the clans that I've worked with, the aggression that I'm seeing is more of like a playful toddler with big strong muscles, and that if you don't give them their way, they're just going to tear the forest around down you to scare you off. But I also don't work with the people that I talk to as well. They work with the wild ones that I say, or the national park ones, and they have totally different stories. So a
Right.
lot of people are like, why aren't you getting out of the state parks? Because I know them and they're comfortable, and I think they got certain rules, and I say that a lot. And I just think there's good ones and bad ones. I don't know where their seed really comes from. We can guesstimate, we can theorize that all the time, but I can't think that of them as bad, or I couldn't keep going out there and doing it. I don't want to believe that I'm out there. If I am, then I'll eventually stop because I don't want to. But if I'm messing with the dark side and gonna mess up my salvation just trying to find the truth, then I'll quit. But a part of me don't want to believe that, because then how am I ever going to figure out the truth? Wait.
Well,
I
you know,
don't want to wait to be told the truth,
right. I agree with you. The way I look at it is I do not believe that these creatures are demons. Okay. I don't believe that. I believe what they are is they are a flesh and blood animal, if you will, that is the product of a supernatural interference, of a corruption. Now, the true demons, that's the EVPs you're picking up. But
Right.
these creatures, I believe, live, breathe, drink, need food, shelter. Because, I mean, even at my granny's house, what would have made sense with the guy that saw the werewolf at her back porch? Why would it be eating scraps? You know, if it's supernatural, it has no reason to need to nourish the body.
Right.
So these things live, breathe, walk. It's the shadows that we see, the
Yeah.
EVPs that we see. And I think the reason they're there is because they are lineage, they are blood related. So, yeah, they probably follow these creatures and they're in the area. So, you're
Right.
dealing with both. But,
Gotcha.
you know, I have a deputy sheriff that sent me a photo. If I can find it, I'll put it in my Facebook again. Him and another deputy shot and killed a Bigfoot. And I have the photo. I've shared it before. That he sent it to me. They shot it with a .308 caliber, and the photos are pretty.
How'd they even see it long enough? Because like they're so quick. Like they'll let me see them, but like if I move the light to zoom in my camera, they're gone. I don't. How they even take a
They
shot
said
at it?
Now, this is what they said. What they said, they shot it with the thermal on their rifle, and it was supposed to be in a apple orchard when they shot it. It was feeding, and they shot it, and they took photos. The photo he sent me, you can see it laying. Its head is on like a tree, and its arms over the tree where it had fell. They drove around to try to get in to get the body. But whenever they started driving around, they were met with a lot of vocalizations and stuff, and it scared them out of there. And when they went back the next day, there was nothing there.
I believe they bury their own. That's why we can't find a body. I believe they have family units and loved ones just like we do, and they bury them just like we would. And that's why we can't get a body. If they do have a body, it's something they've captured or done something with. You know, that's why we can't find one.
I've thought of that. I mean, they might take them in a cave or swim them out under the water and stick them under the
Right.
water. You know,
Who knows?
and I hate thinking about something grabbing me,
I
taking me under
know.
the water. You know, that old dark, scary water with all those old logs and stuff under there.
Yeah, I get out in the lake and go across the lake to try to get in the woods, and I have to get back before it gets dark, and it gets dark while I'm on the water. And I'm telling you, that is the most unnerving feeling of how dark that water is and how big it is. And you can't make the horizon from the. Yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah.
It's bad.
Dee, I've had you an hour and a half on here, and I know you're doing boots on the ground tonight, and I don't want to keep you and make you have to go late into
This
that.
was fun. It was great. This was actually way better than I thought it was going to be. I was so nervous that it was going to be just a bunch of questions, like interviewing, kind of thing. But this was really good. I really liked it. It was way better than I thought.
We just kind of hang out here and talk, but I would like to have you back sometime when you're free. I know you're busy, but just get with me when you're free and you want to come back on. We can talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Okay.
We have great moderators. They keep everything clean and good. You don't have no worries here. We make this a safe place. I know what it's like to have your videos attacked. I get mine attacked all the time.
Oh
But
God, it's just give it a break, man.
yes, if you don't like it, don't watch. Just go on. Leave me alone. But Dee,
Everybody's got to speak their minds nowadays. I don't know why.
absolutely. Tell everybody where to find you, where to find your channel so they can go support you, and what time you're going live tonight so they can all go over and support you in your live too.
I am doing a members live tonight over at Dee's Dark Adventures. I do a members live twice a month, usually twice a month I try to do. So that's where I'm headed now. We're gonna go to look at a new trail that I just found. And I also have Scary Explorations with Dee. I just uploaded that channel to my backup channel in case because something weird things was going on with my live streams. Something kept cutting me off from doing these live streams in the woods. I don't know what was going on, so that's why I made a whole nother channel. So if something goes wrong there, you guys can find me there. I'm not giving up that easy.
No,
But
don't
yeah,
give
thank
up.
you.
Don't give
Thank
up.
you.
There's very, very few boots on the ground people, and
Yeah.
we need people in the field to be able to get the evidence. But be safe when you do it too.
Oh, absolutely. I'll try to
you
do
know.
my best. I might not. I don't know, man. If I get out of my car tonight, you guys we talked about some things. I'm a little nervous now.
Yeah.
But anyway, thank you guys for having me. It was great. It was fun. It was a blast. And everybody, thanks for being here.
Anytime,
Yeah,
Dee.
thanks for coming on.
Jesse, you're awesome. Randy, thank you guys so much.
It was our pleasure. It was our pleasure. You're welcome back here anytime.
Thank you so much, man.
You have a safe night.
All right, bye.
All right,
Bye.
good night.
Here.
We loved your encounters, Dee. Thank you for sharing.
Oh, no
Come
problem.
back any.
Absolutely, man. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
That was an amazing interview. I really enjoyed that. She has so many things that just line up with what I'm going through and what we've seen. And there's not coincidence. I don't believe that there is coincidence. And I'm going to start, after I do my boots on the ground, I'm going to start looking at hers and maybe comparing just to see if there's...
I'm telling you, there's a lot of things that if you go on and then she goes on or vice versa, there's a lot of similarities, whether it's the amount of orbs that show up or the eye shine or even certain voices that come through. And again, just like that one that walked in front of your vehicle. I mean, within days, I remember seeing the video right outside of her window and I'm going, what the heck? I mean, it's not a coincidence, I don't think.
Right. Yeah.
Nope.
I don't think so either. Well, Randy, what do you think?
her encounters backs up some of the stuff that I've seen and observed myself. So I think she's spot on with what she's telling us. I loved her encounter. I would love to see a boots on the ground with the two of you. That would be even more exciting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, as soon as I could get through with everything that I'm dealing with, I would love to be able to work with some people and collab with everybody. But I'm dealing with so many lies, deceit, and conspiracies right now, and it's hard for me to really plan anything.
One day you're going to be free of all this, and you're going to be able to have some fun stuff. And we're just going to pray and ask God to make it available to where we can all get together one day and do some investigations as a group. That would be my dream, I think. You know, have a team of people that you can trust. You know, my main thing is going out with people is if they see something scary, they run off. It's like, I don't want to be with people if they're going to run off like that, because that's how you get hurt at night. Running off in the woods at night is never a good idea.
Absolutely. Jesse, you want to start walking us out of this one?
Yeah. Well, thank you everybody for being here tonight. We appreciate each and every one of you. I'm so glad everybody showed up for this one. A lot of new faces and a lot of same followers that we appreciate being here. So thank you all. God bless. And I hope that everybody decides to come back, especially for your boots on the ground, the 17th. Is that when you go back out?
Let's see. I believe that's it. Let me make sure I don't have it in front of me. 17th. Yep, tomorrow night.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it is tomorrow night, huh?
Yep,
so
tomorrow
hopefully
night.
everybody comes back and checks out your boots on the ground, too.
Yeah, that'll be tomorrow night at 8 o'clock p.m. Central Time.
So God bless everybody. Take care. Randy?
Thank you, Jess, for that, your wisdom and your information tonight. I enjoyed listening to you talk as well. You're a beautiful addition to Mike's team, and we appreciate you. And everything that you do and things that you don't do, we're still appreciative of you. Ladies and gentlemen, we couldn't have a show without you. We want to thank you all for joining the Abnormal Investigation channel tonight and supporting us. We appreciate you. God bless each and every one of you, and God bless your families, guys. And have a beautiful night.
Like what Randy said, guys, we couldn't do it without you guys, and I appreciate each and every one of you. We try to keep a family atmosphere here, keep it a safe atmosphere to share your stories. I want to say, Hunter, that I love you more than anything in the world, and I hope that you know that. And yeah, I'll leave it at that right now. But I just want you to know that, and I know that there's a lot of evil working against the good, and it's frustrating, it's aggravating, but I believe it's clear and concise, and I believe that the Lord will bring the truth and let it be shown. Guys, I want to thank you for being here. Thank you to all the new people that showed up. Thank you, Dee, for showing up. It was a great show. Thank you for giving us your time tonight. Be careful on your boots on the ground. I wish you the very best. Everybody else, don't forget, keep your head on a swivel. Don't be something's dinner, and we'll see you on the next one. Good night. God bless, and go hug your family.
Good night.